welcome to episode number 11 of the Reknit podcast. I am Emily.
I'm Roz. Hello.
We haven't disappeared from the face of the planet, although you might believe that we had. We've both been ill.
Yes.
I had laryngitis for about 2 weeks and had to be a silent librarian for a little while.
Yeah, and then she very kindly gave me the laryngitis because she's a caring, sharing sort of person like that.
Yeah. So I could have podcasted, but it would have been sort of a mime podcast because I had literally no voice whatsoever. But we're back now. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Elfie McDork.
You can find me as Rosaroo on Ravelry and Rosarooney on Instagram.
And it is nearly the end of November, which is, in fact, today it's exactly 1 month till Christmas, because today is the 25th of November, and that is terrifying.
A little bit.
But in the spirit of the season, I am making Christmas socks. So
your feet will
be
ready
for the run up to Christmas. It was American Thanksgiving 2 days ago, so like the law of Christmas says that you can now start talking about Christmas. The Christmas lights in my town were switched on at the beginning of this week because they like to be extra early. The Christmas lights in my town were up before Halloween, so
they had signs wishing you a happy Christmas and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in mid-October.
Yeah,
so you know,
prepared.
Your town is ready.
That it is.
Yes.
Right, so I haven't done as much knitting as I perhaps would like, mainly because I've been busy being ill and busy being at work.
After being ill.
But there's a little bit. So, do you want to start?
Sure. I will start with works in progress.
Okay.
That's what we start with. And I will start with this. I've just started a row as well. This is
the good thing by knitting socks around. There's no such thing as I just started a row. It's like you just keep going until a foot.
Yeah, I'm going to unknit the beginning of that row because I don't know how to,
knit.
It's brioche. I don't know how to stop in the middle of a row on brioche. This is
it's a scarf.
It's going to be a looped scarf or an infinity scarf or a cowl or whatever you call it. But this is what I've got so far. And this is the needle with the end cap that I broke a couple of minutes before we started podcasting by standing on it. So it's now being held together with blue tack. But I've got this much of scarf and I've got a little bit more to go. This is a brioche scarf I'm knitting as a gift. It's knit with some yarn that Em bought for me from Aldi when she was being my personal yarn shopper in Aldi. It's this yarn. It's called Rainbow, but it's all purple. So it's just like a range of shades of purple. To my mind, a rainbow should have, the colours of the rainbow. But anyway, it's a wool. It's 20% wool, 80% acrylic, and it's sort of Aran thickness. And I'm knitting it on 6mm needles. It's just plain brioche, just ordinary brioche. I'm not very good at the brioche terminology. It's not two-colour brioche or anything like that, so it's just that every row is the same. I'm knitting it back and forth on the needles. And this is a provisional, it's not really a provisional cast on, it was Judy's Magic cast on. But I've left half of the stitches on this broken needle. And it wasn't broken when I started, but I've just broken it. So that I can graft the end together when I finished. It's my little tail yarn that I can graft it with. I'm not sure. Is there a different form of Kitchener for grafting rib?
No idea.
I may have to Google that, otherwise I'll just do ordinary Kitchener and it'll just have a row of stockinette in the middle of the brioche. But that's fine. So that's what I'm currently knitting on. And as well as that, also knitting my handspun ryeland socks with the yarn that I hand dyed, that I had spun. This is the second sock. I finished the first sock, yay! This is the very, very beginning of the rib on the second sock. And this is the first sock. I finally finished one of these socks. It's been taking forever, but there we go. These are, I think, maybe about a sport weight in the thickness of the wool that I spun. I'm knitting them on 2.5mm needles. And yeah, it's a ribbed sock. It's going to be a pair of ribbed socks. It's very exciting. And the final thing that I am currently knitting on is deep buried in my bag. I didn't think this through before we started. Talk amongst yourselves, everybody. Okay, it's embedded in the... Now, this is the start of a Christmas sock. Well, it's like the whole leg and the heel and just begun the gusset of a Christmas sock. This is West Yorkshire Spinners candy cane, this bit, which is their sort of striping special Christmas colourway for this year. And then this is the... Em's got a ball of it. In fact, this is from Em's ball because I've already knit a pair of Christmas socks and I didn't have quite enough to do a second pair until I snitched a bit from Em because she's, you know, kind and generous like that.
And also I nicked some yarn from you,
yes.
So you know, it's all give and take.
I also bought the colours that go with it. The solid red, which is called cayenne pepper. Can you see the... Yeah, there we are.
Bit of window glare.
West Yorkshire Spinners, signature 4-ply. This is called cayenne pepper. And the green that goes with it sounds delicious. It's called chocolate lime.
I like chocolate lime. Do you like chocolate limes?
I've never had an actual chocolate lime, but...
Like the sweet?
No, I've never had one. Maybe I should try some.
They're very nice.
But yeah, this is the chocolate lime. It looks like, the colour to me looks like it would be really tasty.
Yeah, all right, tasty.
I would, you know, like to eat something this colour. Well, you know, it's the colour of vegetables, so, you know, maybe that's a good thing. So yeah, this is being knit on 2mm teeny tiny circular needle. It's a ribbed sock. It's 2x2 rib in the cuff and then 6x2 rib in the leg, and it will be 6x2 rib along the top of the foot as well. Which, well, you can kind of just see, like, there's a tiny bit of foot here. What's the top of your foot called? Instep?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tiny bit of instep, but it's mostly not instep. It's mostly leg. And that is all the things I'm working on.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm also working on a Christmas sock, which is the same. It's the West Yorkshire Spinners, and the heel on this one is the cayenne pepper, and then I'm going to do the toe, the chocolate lime colour, and then on the other sock I'll do the heel and the toe the other way around. Yeah, and this is just a vanilla sock with a vanilla heel. It's like just plain, because the colours speak for themselves, I think. They look nice and Christmassy. Yeah, as I say, I've not been getting a huge amount of knitting done, all in all. This is the one that I've been doing at home. This one hasn't come to school with me. This one is the one I do at home. Because the only other thing I have is still the same pair of Stephen King It socks from the first lot of the Yarn Club from down Sheepy Lane. Oh, I could have put that on a sock blocker, couldn't I? Let's find a sock blocker.
There's one on the end.
Oh yeah, right, let's put this on a sock blocker. I can't remember if I've shown this on the podcast yet or not, because it was so long ago that we podcasted, I forgot.
Yeah, I could have told you by looking in the show notes, but I didn't, so... Well, you didn't ask me, so I didn't.
I just put that on the wrong way around. I did. Put it on the foot rather than the leg. I have finished one of the Stephen King It colourways. No One Likes a Clown at Midnight, I think it's called. It's based on Pennywise the Clown from It, and it was the first month of Down Sheepy Lane's Stephen King Yarn Club. So I've done the first sock, which looks a bit like this. Again, just a vanilla sock, and it's all done in one colour. It's lovely. It's nice, sort of, it's got the blue and red sort of, not stripes, but variegated, and then there's bits of yellow and stuff in there as well, kind of primary colours. It's nice, I like it, and I'm working on the second one at the moment. I'm working on the leg, and this is the one that comes to school with me. So this is the one that I've been doing during Monday morning staff meetings and while being on duty in the library, trying to make sure the kids don't do anything they're not supposed to. That's where this one gets worked on. So I'm hoping soon I should be able to do the heel, because I think it's nearly that. Yeah, look, it's almost time to start knitting the heel flap. So hopefully sock number 2 of this won't take very long. But it's nice, it's very nice yarn. And it's a nice funky sock, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, those are my only 2 whips at the moment, just 2 socks, because that's all I've been working on. And they seem to be taking forever, but I don't think I'm knitting quite as much as I have been, because, you know, other stuff gets in the way.
Oh, the poorly.
I'm going to see if I can do a toe on this yet. Can I do a toe on this yet? Not quite. Alright, that's all my works in progress. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all there is. Just some
Okay.
socks.
Socks.
Yeah.
Right. Now, finished objects. I have finished a pile of things. Some of them are very small though, so you know, don't get too excited. Unless you like really small things, in which case get very excited. This is the first thing I finished. This is a cowl infinity loop scarf thing. Looks, you know, like this. This is the blue version of the purple rainbow. So this is the blue rainbow.
Did you ball up the yarn? Or is it still in the cake?
Which yarn?
The purple.
I've sort of balled it because I've knit enough of the cake that it's started to collapse.
Oh, okay.
So this is another loop scarf thing. This is called the... Oh, hello. This is a look. Let's undo that. This is the Autopilot cowl or loop scarf by Dominique Trad on Ravelry. It's linked in the... will be linked in the show notes. It's sort of basically garter up here and down here, and then an eyelet pattern for most of the scarf. So that knitted up pretty quickly. I knit the garter flat, and I knit the eyelet stuff in the round, and then went back to knitting flat for the end for the garter, because knitting garter in the round is a real pain. Like the whole point of garter stitches, it's really, really easy. So, well, to me anyway. I don't like knitting it in the round because of all the purling. So I didn't. Ah. So that's this. This is, you know, series of blues. Next thing is a pair of Christmas socks. Whee! These are West Yorkshire Spinners again that I just showed in the sock I'm working on. This is a 1x1 rib up here. This is a twisted rib because I was feeling fancy. And then this is a 3x1 rib on the leg and the instep. And yeah, basically I'm doing the other colours of contrasting cuffs and toes and heel on the other sock. And yep, that's them. Finished pair of socks. All ready for Christmas. And then I have a load of tiny weeny things. My cool sparkly box of tiny weeny things. I have a little tiny pumpkin because it was Halloween. And for Halloween, outside Em's flat are normally these 2 sheep, but we bring them in for the podcast. And so they had a tiny pumpkin to celebrate Halloween. This is the Itty Bitty Pumpkin pattern from Sparrow Kelly on Ravelry. And this I just knit out of some scraps of Stylecraft Special DK because they're the colours from my rainbow blanket. The pattern called for a brown pumpkin stalk, but I didn't have brown for my rainbow, so it's green. And yeah, it was a very easy pattern. I knit it up in
an evening.
Yeah, a couple of hours while we were playing
Heads Up
Heads Up
with my brother.
Yes,
when he was visiting.
Yeah, so it's, you know, a very easy pattern. You can also play a game while knitting it, and yeah, looks really cute.
It does.
So that's ready for next year. And then I knit a tiny scarf for my sheep, which I think, I'm not quite sure how the sheep is going to wear it. It doesn't really have a neck.
You just have to be creative.
Yeah. So
I think I'm going to knit tiny leg warmers for mine.
oh,
Possibly out of this Christmas yarn.
that would be cool. So yeah, some kind of, oh, that's gone completely wrong. But yeah, scarf for sheep, and then the sheep also has tiny knitting. I bought a little tiny ball of opal, mini ball of opal, from the local yarn shop in town. And yeah, and then I've got a cocktail stick and another cocktail stick, and I'm gonna finagle something with some blue tack to make it look like the sheep is knitting. So yeah, those are. I don't need to. Well, this isn't a finished object. This is a work in progress for a wooden sheep.
Well, it's kind of a finished object.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna. That's what you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it is finished.
So the sheep has a work in progress.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't quite know how. Possibly more blue tack will be required for this as well. Or maybe I'll just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I knitted it a scarf. For, the winter weather.
Yeah.
And, those are all my knitting finished objects. But also,
Hey,
I did some cross stitch. And if I'm really clever, I will insert a short video thing in the middle of here of like the cross stitch in progress. So I really like those videos on YouTube where you see people like they speed up the cross stitch. Well, I don't know. They make like a time lapse of their cross stitch, and I really think those are cool. So I might have a tiny one of these in here, or maybe not. So if you see it, I made it and I put it there. If you didn't, I'm sorry. This is a cross stitch kit from Aldi again, which bought for me.
I did.
A present. Like cross stitch, this is a very small area. Cross stitch takes a long time. Like this took a lot of days of not like constantly working on it, but it took a while. Like you could knit something of an equivalent size in about, well, depending on what type of yarn you're using, but even with really small yarn and small needles, I bet you could knit a thing this size much quicker. But it's really pretty. It's got like this watercolour effect on the colour, and I've got loads and loads of all the colours apart from the white left. So if I had some more of the cross stitch fabric, I could make another version very easily, which I may do at some point if I get more cross stitch fabric and more. I'm sure I've got loads of white. It's pretty much every cross stitch you do mostly comes with white.
Probably.
So, or I could buy some white. So, yeah, but that's really pretty. That's it for finished objects for me.
That's it?
Yep.
Okie dokie. My finished objects are more socks, funnily enough. Actually, no, that's not true. One of my finished objects is this, which is a headband that I knitted with a cable pattern on it. I can't remember the name of the pattern, but it is on Ravelry, and we'll put it in the show notes. This is knit out of Serda Crofter, I can't speak, Serda Crofter, which is chunky, and it looks like this. It's quite pretty. I wanted something to wear to keep my ears warm, but hats don't always work for me because of all the hair that I have, especially when my hair is up here. So I knit this to keep my ears warm. So it's quite, it knit out pretty fast because it's chunky. So it doesn't work massively well with my French, but it's okay. There we go. So that keeps my ears warm. Not that I've worn it very much because I'm not really outside very much. So, and it hasn't been massively cold. It's been really hot. Where I work, it's boiling.
Yeah, well, that's
like
inside.
A flipping sauna. But then when I go outside, I'm still really hot, and I quite like the cold. So, yeah. So there's that. Oh dear, now my fringe has all gone wrong.
Oh no.
And the other thing I finished were my Mrs. Weasley's family sock in the Cuddle by the Fireplace colourway. Yes. That's come out midnight. Okay, I can't find the ball band for it, but yeah, with the little bit of Molly Weasley in the heel. So this is Cuddled by the Fireplace, Fireside, something like that.
Cuddled by the Fire?
Yeah, could be. From down Sheepy Lane. And then the Molly Weasley colourway is from Paper Stories. Is that what she's called?
I think so.
That's what her Instagram is called, at least. Yeah, so it's the same pattern, Mrs. Weasley's family sock, as the one that I did when I knit ones in that colour. But they're nice, and they're a really nice colour and like autumnal and kind of cosy. I like the texture pattern as they make them feel all cosy and like snuggly socks. So I'm really pleased with those. I'm really pleased with the way they look. They look all nice and cosy. And they are nice and cosy.
Yeah, they're all pretty on the sock buckets.
Yeah, let's fluff on them. These have been worn and washed, so they're not
Pristine.
they're not straight on the sock blockers from being knit. I have worn them and washed them a couple of times. But they're lovely. They're really comfy. I'm very pleased with them. So that was that and that. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I have. It's not much.
It's been a few weeks.
It has. I mean, I finished a pair of socks and knit a small headband. So, you know.
There's been other knitting and there's been other stuff. And there will be. I mean, you've knit other things, you just haven't finished them.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
And, you know, there's been non-knitting stuff. I have some spinning to show you. I've finished some spinning. Well, it's finished but still on the bobbin. This is my F that something. Bat from Alternate Universe that I won for Tour de Fleece for being the
Fleeciest.
polka dot jersey. There's the flower. And this is a 2-ply. I haven't wound it off and washed it yet, but so I don't know how long it is, but it's, considering it was long drawn from chunks and it's got all sorts of linen and wool and possibly also bamboo and stuff in it, it's fairly even. So yeah, I will probably show it again next time when it's in an actual skein and not on the bobbin, but I'm pleased. It looks pretty cool. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I will write about it in my brand new notebook that I showed on last time's podcast that Em got me for my birthday. And yeah, that's some spinning. Again, I haven't done much spinning this past. Okay, I've lost my needle. Oh no. Oh, it's on the floor. Okay, that's it for me for spinning.
Okay. I have some sash enhancements. The first one I will talk about is this one that's just on here. I got the winter edition of Pom Pom Quarterly because I'm now subscribed to them. I haven't had a massive look through it, to be perfectly honest, but some of the stuff, there's some shawls in there that are fantastic. Like this one here, which is brioche. Ooh, big purple brioche shawl, which looks massively complicated, but very pretty. And these socks, which I love as well, especially the colour. Those socks. Which I really like. I like the yarn, so I might have to find out what the yarn is so I can get some. But there's some really beautiful, actually they do big pictures, don't they? There's some really, there we go, that's the shawl.
What's it called?
It's called Stellate.
Oh.
And those are the socks. So they have some really nice stuff in here this month, but I haven't, look at that jumper. Ooh, a gorgeous jumper. The stuff in here is always really lovely. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that, which I will have a proper look through at some point, which has some...
I think that's next door. Sorry if you heard that, that's next door.
Next door's trying to break through the wall. Right. The other thing is the third month, and I think the last month, of the Down Sheepy Lane Stephen King Sock Yarn Club. So if, rattle, if you are in the Stephen King Sock Yarn Club and you haven't had your package, or you haven't opened your package for the Green Mile, which is this month's colourway, I'm going to show everything on here now. So you might want to stop at this point if you don't want to be spoiled for what's in it. I know some people in the States get this as well, so they might not have theirs yet, or they might not have opened it yet. So if you don't want to be spoiled for what's in the third month of the Down Sheepy Lane, because I know Amber from Yarn Hoarder gets it as well.
Oh yeah, because
she talked about it on her podcast.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be spoiled for what's in it, then look away now, or turn it off now, or finish now, because I'm going to show you what's in it. So, first thing, obviously, we had a skein of yarn, funnily enough, and it was green. what a surprise! And it's called The Mouse on the Mile. So if you know the books, because it's a series of short stories, I think, in the book originally. Books. They came out as lots of books. And also the film, The Green Mile. You'll know that one of the inmates on The Green Mile has a mouse called Mr. Jingles, and that will be relevant as you... Oh, there's hair on that. Be relevant as I show you the rest of the stuff in here. So this is The Mouse on the Mile, and it's really nice. It's comfy socks, so it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. 2-ply. And it's a lovely kind of foresty green. There's some browns in there as well. I think this is probably going to be like a hat or something, maybe a shawl. But there's some lovely tones in there. It's really nice, and that's the skein of yarn that came with it. And as usual, we get like a little packet of goodies that sort of relate to the book. So I'm going to rattle for a second while I take all of this out. Whoop. So as in the previous 2 months, we get a badge. So that's that one, Stephen King, The Green Mile. There's always like a gift that's relevant to the story. So we get coffee, because one of the main characters in The Green Mile is called John Coffey. So coffee, obviously, for John Coffey. And we get a stitch marker, which is a mouse, like Mr. Jingles. So you can see that there, a little mousey stitch marker. And then the little card has a little mouse on it too. And that is Down Sheepy Lane. And I think this was the last month, because I think it was only a 3-month thing, as far as I know.
Was this the one that also came with the Tic Tac things?
Oh yeah, there was a little thing of mints as well, which we ate, which was very nice. Yeah, so it has been a really awesome yarn club. Having a Stephen King inspired yarn club has made me very happy. And yeah, it was definitely well worth it. It's the first yarn club I've ever been a part of, and I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed all the like little extra things that came with it as well, like the little sweets and stitch markers and all that kind of groovy stuff. Yeah, so I'm really, and also having done that yarn club has meant that I've bought more of her stuff as well, because I ended up buying the By the Fireside, Cuddle by the Fire stuff, which was this one. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good, really good. So well done to her, because it was brilliant.
Yeah,
and I will buy more of her things in the future. Yeah,
I think, is that it?
I think so. Can I put my other podcast, my other BookTube channel?
Oh yes, Emma started a new podcast. So if the thing that annoys you about this podcast is that I'm in it and we don't talk about books, you may want to listen. May want to watch.
Actually, it's not a podcast. It's a BookTube channel.
Okay.
I think you'll find.
All right.
So a few years ago, like 4 years ago, I started a BookTube channel, and I did it for a few months, and then I had to stop because I was ill, and I never really got around to starting it up again, despite wanting to. And then I started working as a librarian in September, and I felt that it would be the perfect opportunity to start it back up again, because I'm now reading a hell of a lot of YA fiction, because I love to read it, and also because I want to be able to read some of the books so that I can recommend them to the kids that I work with, or know if it's going to be suitable for the kids that I work with, and all that kind of stuff. So I've restarted my BookTube channel. I mostly talk about YA fiction, and you can find me, we'll put a link down below, but my BookTube channel is called MZ Books, and it's me talking about YA fiction, really. Yeah. That's about it. It's good fun, and I read a lot of books. Yeah, so if that's your thing, if you like BookTube, or you want to see me talk about books for a bit, then that's where it is.
So yeah, is that
everything
now?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll try and get another episode in before Christmas, I hope.
Yeah.
And then
also a Christmas episode.
Yeah, we can do a Christmas episode. Maybe we'll do one from your parents again, like we did this summer.
Yeah. Because that's all will be for Christmas with my parents.
So, in the meantime, thank you ever so much for coming and watching.
Yes, we're sorry for the long hiatus.
Yeah, it wasn't
our fault.
And
it
stuff happened.
Well, it was her fault.
Yes, I purposely got ill.
Yes, and
just
purposefully
so we didn't have to record a podcast. That was my entire reasoning behind it. Yeah, we will definitely get at least one episode out between now and Christmas.
Barring, fatalities or
Exactly.
you know,
The house falling down, yarn
Yeah.
being made illegal, all that kind of stuff. But thank you ever so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you'd like to, and leave a comment if you would like to as well. We love getting comments, and oh, that's my alarm going off. We love getting comments and stuff like that. So please come and say hi.
Yeah.
And in the
Watch
meantime,
Em's video about books.
sure. I have to put some up. There will be some coming up soon. If there's not any new ones up when you go and click on it from this one, there will be very soon, I promise.
Yeah. There's at least one new one. And you could go back and look at, you know, books don't really age that significantly. You can go back and look at her older videos.
Sure. That's
about, you know, books.
Yeah.
If you like books.
Sure. Right. In the meantime, thank you for watching.
Yes. Bye-bye.
And we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.